Hey guys, up here I'm gonna go over changing the oil on a 2013 Dodge Charger. These lights are insanely bright up there, so it's kind of flooding the color out. It's a 3.6 and it's a SE, but I went ahead and just put a Hellcat front nose piece on it. I think they look a lot better with the Hellcat front nose. So that's the car, and we're gonna do the oil on this. And your filter is up here, which I think is a 24, and you want to be very careful with those. Alright, now I'm not sure, this one doesn't have a cover on it, so anyway, the drain plug is going to be over here on the driver's side of the car. These are rear-wheel drive cars. They have a rear axle in them. Something just dripped on me. Looks like we got a little bit of an oil leak happening. Might have to check that out. So let's go ahead and get this drain in here. Alright guys, it is a 17 millimeter. I'm just going to pull the plug and let her drain. It's nice and hot. It's got about, I think, 4,000 on the oil right now. Okay, we got 24 millimeter. Put it on here. Now this should not be tight at all. Yep, it's not, because I was the last person that did it. So you just unscrew it. Pull it out. And there's your filter, and this just pulls right off. I like to lay a rag over that while I get everything else cleaned up and ready. I'll take and put a new O-ring on the cap. Alright, put a little bit of oil on this O-ring that's around there. I'm going to put it back down. Just run it down by hand until it gets up against that little O-ring gasket. It's right there. Now I literally just do it until the lid touches. Right there. It's good. You don't have to make them any farther past, because what will happen if you try to tighten this down anymore, the whole housing's plastic, it sits in the middle of the motor, it's brittle, and you will crack it. Sometimes you take them to a shop and they'll go to take it back off because they've put it on too tight the last time, and they'll break it. So you be very careful with these. These are prone to cracking and leaking. Alright, we're going to get some oil put in this thing. And I think this one takes 6 quarts of 520. Alright guys, we got the 6 quarts put in this thing, and it is showing full. We are going to lift this up and see if we can see where the oil leak is coming from. I know there's a spot in the driveway. This is my kid's car. I do like the interior. Pretty clean. Another thing that goes out on these is this little trunk. That right there. If it quits working, you'll have to replace this. It has a little solenoid on it. Buy the whole thing. Don't buy a cheap one. Go ahead and get the one from O'Reilly's, and do not get an Amazon special, or you'll be replacing it again shortly. Alright, let's get this thing up in the air. Alright, we're gonna kind of look at some stuff. I do believe his struts are gone. He probably needs new struts. We bought this car, he's had it about, yeah, see the, oops, got the camera, or the flashlight right in the way. You see how it's wet right there? That's a sign of a bad strut. So we're gonna get some struts on this thing. We haven't really had to work on this thing all that much. He's had it about, well, since he was about 16. 17, he's 21 now. That one looks like it might be starting to leak. It's just a shock. And that one doesn't look horrible. It might be, but they are originals. It is the Dodge shock. There's a few things that this car is probably needs some maintenance done to it. And other than that, we just, like, I haven't had to do anything to this car other than oil changes. It's been a really good car, but now we got an oil leak here. And that is coming out of the bell housing, possibly a rear main seal. Doesn't look like it's coming from up high. And it looks pretty good there. It's not really what I wanted. I don't want to do a rear main seal. I'm going to take those little plugs out there and get the cam and see if I can go up in there and see anything. Alright guys, we looked up in the holes, and it actually looks fairly dry. So we are not 100% sure where we got this leak yet. It's kind of everywhere under this little area. So I think what I'm going to do is clean it off. And we're going to run it for a while and see if we can find where the leak comes from. And we'll probably be back with a video doing this one. If you guys would, go ahead and hit the subscribe and like, and we will talk to you all later.